Hey everyone, Justin and David here from Bluefin. Welcome to our live stream. We have been celebrating May the 4th all week long with our Destination Galactic digital event. Here we have some awesome deals on bundles, Star Wars model kits, May Show figures, you name it. Check it out at bluefinbrands.com. And today we are here with the one and only Hip Hop Trooper. How you doing today, man?
Oh man, I'm doing, despite all the circumstances in which we are faced with today, I am doing fantastic.
That's good, man. I'm glad to hear it. Everyone's kind of trying to find their own way to deal with this whole quarantine, and then you being in Tennessee, you're dealing with natural disasters and all kinds of craziness. So you have your armor, you're suited up, you're ready to take on the world, my friend.
Listen, mate, I'm always ready, and I keep telling people. I know there's a lot of disappointment and despair right now with up-and-coming conventions. I keep telling people, look forward to 2021. Take that same energy and passion, and you're gonna have the greatest 2021 you've ever had. But for right now in 2020, let's not worry about what's in front of us, and let's concentrate on what's around us.
Perfect. Couldn't said it better. And hopefully there's no killer wasp or bees or whatever around us at the same time.
Murder hornets.
Murder hornets, that's what it is. Holy smokes. It's one thing after another.
And so I got the Wu-Tang Killer Bees to protect me.
Yeah, and armor for that matter. You have an anti-killer hornet device all around you. It's amazing. So let's talk about Star Wars, man. When did your love for Star Wars begin?
Like, honestly, man, so growing up, I was the only child in my early years. And my mother worked at the cinema in Oxford, which is a movie theater, as Americans call it.
Sure.
Well, remember those? And she couldn't find babysitters. She actually ended up losing her job eventually because she would hide me in the back of the theater. And I would literally watch movies all day. And my nutrition was only popcorn and soda.
Oh, wow.
Great parenting. So I remember when Star Wars came out, I was obsessed. I mean, it was really between Star Wars and the original Superman, Christopher Reeves. Those two movies I remember the most, just watching them over and over and over. Sometimes in an empty theater, just me, just watching them over and over again.
That's crazy. You know, every time I watch the original Superman, well, Christopher Reeves Superman, I get the chills every time the theme comes on. I freaking love it so much.
I'm getting chills now.
No, that's great, man. I love it. Oh man, see, we probably had the same diet, but mine wasn't forced. I opted to have only the popcorn and the soda. Still kind of the same diet. I'm like the worst vegan on the planet. I eat popcorn and drink soda. Anywho, so yeah, no, that's great. So Oxford to Nashville, that's quite a journey. How did you end up in Tennessee?
Well, I wasn't quite Oxford to Nashville. It was more along the lines of everywhere in the world, and now Nashville. I mean, I was in Burbank, California for 4.5 years before coming here. I was in Atlanta for 7 years before going to LA. And before that, I lived in Germany, Turkey, England, back and forth to the States because I played basketball in England. I played in Division I basketball, which is the equivalent to, I guess, NCAA. And I was somewhat a professional basketball player. And I got to travel and do that a lot. And eventually, I moved to America.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Cool. So the armor fits in a suitcase, as it were.
Try 2 or 3 suitcases.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man.
That would be hard to transport.
Let me tell you something. If you saw a picture of me at the airport, even Nigerians are looking at me like, you got a lot of shit.
Oh, that's great. Cool, man. So did you collect any Star Wars toys when you were a kid? Did you have anything?
Well, yeah, of course. So my stepfather came into my life, and he was in the U.S. military. And there at the base, obviously, they had all the figures. And once a week, he would literally leave a figure by my bedroom door when I woke up. So I had pretty much every figure and multiples of figures. An interesting story, I would actually pop the heads off my stormtroopers and replace them with multiple characters because I wanted to see other characters as stormtroopers.
Sure.
So I had so many Lando Calrissian stormtroopers. It was like a armored Black Panther party.
Ah,
That's crazy.
nice.
I mean, Han and Luke got to be stormtroopers. Why can't everybody else be stormtroopers?
Exactly. And my imagination was very vivid, as it is to this day. And when I created the Hip Hop Trooper 10 years ago, I felt like I already did this before. But now I was sticking my head on the stormtrooper and a splash of paint.
Nice. Congratulations, by the way. 10 years is a long time to have that persona and character, and that's great that it's
congrats.
become you. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is, man. And it's like I keep telling people, it's in this, as it's known today, the cosplay world. Because when I got started, I didn't know what cosplay meant. I didn't even heard of the word. And I didn't even know about the 501st or even conventions. I just wanted to create this character. And it is, I always tell people, do what you want and be passionate about it. And whatever happens, you're going to have fun. That's the bottom line. If you're doing something for, let's say, quote unquote fame or followers or notoriety, you're going to fail. It's going to be depressing. So just have fun with it. And wherever it goes, just enjoy it.
Right.
Oh, totally.
No, I always love whenever I'm at a con and and I hear the music and I look around and I see you coming with the boombox and I'm just like, yo, that's so cool. Like the first time I saw that, I was like, that's like one of those original cosplays I had ever seen in my life. And I always appreciate whenever I see that. Me and my friends, we always stop and look at whenever you're at a con. It's always awesome.
Right on, man. I appreciate that.
Let's see. I have some fun photos here. Like
Oh,
that
hey,
guy.
we did get a question in the chat for you though. Chris Cooper wants to know what is your favorite convention that you've ever been to?
Honestly, it's such a tricky one. I love Complex Con in LA.
Oh yeah, in Long Beach.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So I have a Champion version of my suit, and Champion flies me out, and I wear the Champion version of the Hip Hop Trooper, and I get to DJ at the booth. And this is me DJing in front of every celebrity in LA, basically, because they all roll through, and all the biggest rap stars are in the building. And Complex Con's one of my favorites, but I would have to say, I really enjoy the small conventions because I get to meet people that never expect me to show up.
Sure.
And I show up because I'm a fan of the culture, and I don't need to be under the biggest spotlight to have a good time.
No, that's true.
Nice.
And then it's pretty cool though to see like a group of kids see you and they're like, "Oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen!" And then you get to take your photo with them. That's got to put a smile on your face underneath that helmet.
Like, yeah, one thing I've always done, and from day one, is having the boombox and using music as a tool, and just seeing people just have a good time and dance and be in their element. And it's always like, if it's about me, it's never about me when the music comes on. As soon as the music comes on, it's about everybody.
Right. No, that's great, man. 10 years is a long time to be doing it too, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So thanks for the questions. Was it Chris?
Chris
Yeah.
Cooper.
Yeah. Chris, what's up, bro? Hope you're holding it down in quarantine. Stay safe. Take care of yours and your loved ones. And I'll see you in 2021.
Yeah, there you go. He's a New Yorker guy, so maybe he'll see you at New York Comic Con.
I've yet to go, but I'm going to go in 2021. I was supposed to go in 2020, but I made the mistake of relying on elements outside of my control. But I will not make that mistake in 2021.
Oh, that's great. Are you ready to answer some Star Wars questions?
Let's go.
All right, bud. Here we go. So, you win the Millennium Falcon in a high stakes game of Sabacc, and you're taking it out on your maiden flight. Who in your life is going to be your co-pilot, and what are you going to be playing on the radio when you take off, and what kind of road snacks are you going to be having on your journey?
Well, it depends on who I want it from.
Sure.
Okay. If I want it from Han Solo, I hit up my boy Lando Calrissian and say, "Yo, let's ride." If I want it from Lando Calrissian, I gotta take my wife.
There you go.
Because I need my wife for directions everywhere I go, on the ground. So if we're up in the air, I'm going to need her even more. And we will be playing. See, we won't necessarily. If I take my wife, we won't necessarily be playing music. We'll be fighting over what music to play. Now,
fair.
if I take Lando Calrissian, we're going to play a little Cool in the Gang. We're going to keep it funky and fresh.
Sure.
And we're going to snack on some pork jerky and just enjoy the flight, man.
I like it. That's awesome. And you can have a whole crew. You don't just necessarily have to have only your co-pilot. So even if you do take it with Lando, then the wife can still come along, and then you guys can fight for her.
Then I'll pick up my HHT crew. I'm sure you've seen them. They're the guys in the tracksuits and the helmets that hang out with me.
Yeah.
I'll pick all of them up. They should fit. There's a lot of them, so they should fit. And we're just gonna have our own party.
Love it.
Nice.
No, that's great, man. Let's see here. Are you ready for some rapid fire action?
Far away.
All right, bud. Lightning round. You just answer what comes first and what comes natural, okay? Jedi or Sith?
Sith.
Favorite Jedi?
Mace Windu.
Favorite Sith?
Vader.
I like it. Favorite Star Wars vehicle?
X-Wing.
Perfect.
No. TIE Pilot. What am I talking about?
Sure.
Yeah. TIE Fighter. TIE Fighter.
You got it. Death sticks or blue milk?
Blue milk with rum.
All right. Special editions or theatrical releases?
Both if I'm alone watching them, and theatrical if I have friends that care too much about the wrong things.
Perfect.
That's a good answer.
It is a good answer. There's those folks out there. Person you would most likely to marry from Star Wars?
Pam Rose. I don't know if you remember her, but she played Lisa Serlin, I think. She was in the Cantina. She had the big alien head with the line going through it.
Sure.
Because she's super cool, and I hung out with her actually last year during ICCC convention here in Nashville. Shout outs to Big Mike who runs it, and we hung out at his house. He had a barbecue, and he invited most of the cast from the original movies came to his house. Obviously not Luke and Han, but everybody else who worked the hardest yet got paid came to his house to hang out. And Pam's a sweetheart. I love her to death. We keep in touch. So I think I'll marry her because she likes to hang out at places with aliens and have a few drinks, and I think we do well.
Likes to party. Sure. Okay. Flip side. The person you would most like to kill from Star Wars? That got dark. That's Dave's question. Not you, other Dave. Dave number two.
You know what? Finn.
Oh, wow. That's hardcore, man.
Because you know what?
He's a
He
good guy.
disappointed me, man. He disappointed me so much. Listen, when I first saw the trailer for the new trilogy, I got so excited. Come on, David. You know what I'm talking about. I got so excited.
I thought he was going to be a Force user. I was so looking forward to that.
I thought he was going to just get down to business. And then, as the movies progressed, this guy didn't know what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of it came down to character development. I thought they did him wrong.
Right.
But yeah, I take him out of his misery.
Oh man!
So we ain't got to deal with the foolery anymore.
Sure.
Oh, poor Finn.
I know, right?
Sorry, John. Hey, us Brits gotta stick together. But hey, when it gets grimy, it gets grimy.
Right. Favorite scene from any Star Wars film?
You know what, man? I would. As crazy as it sounds, the bartender. I'm going back to the cantina. When he says no droids allowed, because I'm a bartender outside of my suit, and I'm always kicking people out of the bar, and I kind of imagine sometimes it's C-3PO and R2-D2, and I'm kicking them out. It's more fun that way. So yeah, I I think his name was Wal. I can't pronounce it right because it's German. I need my wife; she speaks fluent German to help me. But yeah, he's the man.
Nice. All right. So saddest Order 66 on-screen death.
It's got to be the little younglings, man, the little kids.
Sure.
Young Vader walks in, murks him off.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny, man, because it's kind of like they didn't even have a fighting chance. It would be nice to see if they really had a go, like just a little 8-on-1 action. But or I'd like to see an alternative, like a scene where they actually win. That would be cool. Just get these kids just piling into him with lightsabers and backflips and cartwheels, leg sweeps.
They were so hopeful when he showed up too.
I know.
Yeah, it was like they looked at him like he was Uber Eats during quarantine. They were just like, "Oh, he's here, yes."
Yeah, I just picture like some 30-year-old dude going into like a youthful karate class and just beating the shit out of like 30 kids. That'd be terrible.
Savage.
Yeah, that's brutal. Let's see here. What color would your lightsaber be?
Yellow.
Ooh, it's a fun one. We were just talking about that.
If you do some research,
Sure.
I introduced a character called Banana Jedi, the Star Wars Celebration, about 5 years ago. And Banana Jedi is a superhero / Jedi. And when he eats a banana, he turns into Banana Jedi. And there's a special edition of Banana Jedi, which I wore at the last celebration in Chicago, very briefly, because it's very it might be the sexiest Jedi in the Star Wars universe, and sometimes that can cause quite a stir.
Sure.
So like he only comes out like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say something that's appropriate, but I can't.
Sure.
Anyway, Banana Jedi is the man, and he has a yellow lightsaber.
I believe it. I had to open a window. This flower is a Wilton.
Hey, don't get caught slipping.
What is it? A double blade lightsaber or a single lightsaber?
Once you peel it, it's only one.
Okay, fair enough.
Peel the power.
I like it. Okay, Ewoks, are they adorable or deplorable?
They're adorable, man. But shout out to my biker scout homies. They got done dirty in Return of the Jedi. But they sent the B squad. You know what I mean? When you send the B squad, that's what happens.
That's what you get,
You know,
right?
they
You
said
want
that.
results, you need the A squad.
As a matter of fact, I think the whole Legion was the B squad in that movie.
Yeah.
But, they sent the B squad out.
They did their best.
Yeah, they got taken for a ride, man.
They tried, man. They tried.
Sticks and stones, as it were.
Mhm.
No, that's great, man. So what do you got going on right now? Are you you said that you've been doing a lot of streaming lately, just to kind of connect with your fans and such.
Yeah. So I work with Champion USA, and we've been doing a lot of live DJ broadcasts, mostly on my Instagram, and some on Facebook. But Facebook likes to act to ass and like mute the music, which is annoying. Where Instagram just kind of say, "Do you own the rights to it?" And it's like, no, I don't. I mean, who does? And Instagram's been a lot more kind of like relaxed during quarantine because people just need entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of that, as well as bartender streams, making cocktails, talking about drinks and bartender culture. If you don't know this, Hip Hop Trooper is the only Stormtrooper to be featured in GQ magazine for making cocktails.
Oh, that's awesome.
Impressive.
Yeah, they didn't say I was a Stormtrooper because they wasn't allowed. But it's me in the magazine,
Sure.
page 100 and something. But other than that, man, like I said, I've just been appreciating the time with my wife, with my dog Branston. I learned how to make bread really, really good.
Oh, nice.
I've been cleaning the house more than ever before. But I've also been messing up the house more than ever before because I'm always here.
Right.
But other than that, man, I've just been really just what this quarantine done has really brought me closer to a lot of friends I lost contact with because, of course, all my friends back home in England want to know what's going on in America.
Right.
And obviously me, vice versa, want to know what's going on in England. So I became closer. And one thing that's interesting is this one tool that just a year ago separated us from everyone has now brought us all together.
Yeah, no,
And
it's a good point.
You know,
Isn't
so
that crazy? You see these images of like, everyone just on their phones, right? And then I saw this one photo from like 1950 where everyone at the airport just had, a newspaper in their hand.
Right.
And it's the phone is like, today's newspaper. And then now you're absolutely right. It's something that I've complained about forever, especially when I go to a concert. It drives me insane when someone has this awesome seat and they're standing and the show is 15 feet in front of them and they're looking at it through a 5-inch screen instead of just staring at this amazing moment and taking a picture in their brain versus looking at
and they just spent $200 on a ticket. They might have bought a new outfit. They probably had a drink or two, which could be another $60-$70.
Right.
And they're, like you said, they're holding their phone. They're not moving. They're not having a good time.
Right.
And the thing is, they are trying to capture something that someone else is going to have a much better HD version on YouTube the next day.
Right.
What is the point?
Right.
Like, do a quick, like when me and my wife go to concerts, if I know something's going to happen, I'll pull out my phone for a quick reaction, like 5-6 seconds. Then I put my phone away because I want to live in the moment, And I said it a long time ago, like in my life, I know for a fact the greatest moments that I've ever experienced have not been captured on film because it's random, but you take it with you as a great moment and it becomes a great story and everyone can paint that story in their imagination.
Right. No, it's true.
We got another question for you from the chat, also from Chris. If you could sit down and have a drink with any character, who would it be, and what would you be drinking?
That's a good question. Well, it would be Finn.
Like,
what's going on with you, man? We gotta have a heart-to-heart.
Because drink this real quick before I can.
Because I owe him this, and I will buy the round, and I would explain to him why I feel the need to kill him off. I guess Finn doesn't strike me as someone who, he's very indecisive. So it'd be like a first date. I would order his drink on his behalf. So I'll say, we're going to go with a little Remy, 1738 on the rocks. And we get the whole bottle. And we just, we drink, and I just explain to him why I feel the need to kill him off.
Don't even give him a chance to redeem himself.
No.
You're like, this is gonna happen. Let me tell you how this is gonna work. You're gonna drink your drink. You're gonna enjoy it. But then you're gonna die. Sorry.
And then when he crawls into his cave and cries, Chris can come join me at the table and we can finish the bottle off.
There we go.
Oh man.
That's rad. Now, as a bartender, when someone orders a drink, is there ever those times where you just you want to roll your eyes but you don't? Like, do you judge people based on the drink that they order, or are you just there to make sure they have a good time?
It's funny because I do and I don't, and it just depends on the vibe of the person. Like when someone comes to the bar and they're super cocky, and they try to challenge me on a drink or knowledge, and they're totally wrong, then I would find myself rolling my eyes. But in terms of that, I don't really judge people. Like I try to remember where I am as a bar, and bars are full of dummies. Let's be real. And some people just don't know, and they think they know, and they just want to have a good time. And I'm just like, okay, let's do it. And if I can make them something to change their mind or entice them to take on a new culture in terms of drinking, I'll do so.
Sure. Have you ever concocted any Star Wars themed drinks?
Yeah, I did. Death Star old fashions and stuff like that. But not really much Star Wars kind of stuff. Not really.
Yeah.
But if someone says they want a Star Wars drink, it's grab some blue curacao, and, some milk, and then just some rum, and just call it a day. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's great. That's cool. There's some really incredible photos that you have on your Instagram page here. Look at these stickers. Can people get these stickers?
They can. They can go to... there's only a few left. They were actually done by my friend Nopal, an amazing artist. And a lot of my merchandise pays homage to friends that actually illustrate Hip Hop Trooper. Very rarely do I come with an idea and ask somebody to do something. This is art that have been done that I'm giving out to the world, and showing homage to them. So you can get those on my website, hiphoptrooper.com. You know, a lot of my stuff you can get on there, and a lot of the exclusives go really, really, really quickly.
No,
really quickly.
I bet, man. You are one of a kind.
You know.
That's fantastic. What did you think of the most recent Star Wars movie?
Oh, here we go.
Totally non-loaded question.
You're in a safe place here, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright,
feel
good,
free
good.
to say whatever you want.
Well, first of all, let me start by saying I like pineapple on my pizza, okay?
Okay, that's fair.
Let's get that out there, all right?
Sure.
And not everyone likes pineapple on their pizza. I understand. But allow me to make my belly happy, please.
Yep.
In Star Wars is a lot of bellies that like to get happy in different ways, all right? I'm not a fan of Chicago deep dish pizza. A lot of people are. To me, has a lot of substance, but no flavor and no taste.
Wait.
Listen, to me,
And it takes like 5 hours to make too.
yeah. And then when you're done with it, you kind of don't feel good about yourself. Like, what did I just eat? Did I just eat spaghetti or did I eat pizza? I don't really know. That's kind of how I feel about the new Star Wars trilogy.
Oh,
That's funny. Oh man, every time we went to a deep dish restaurant in Chicago, it was you might as well watch the extended editions of Lord of the Rings before your order was delivered.
Well, I had a friend called Jason, man, and I went to Chicago, and he couldn't wait. And you know, I'm a big food guy. I cook every day. I've worked in many restaurants and bars all over the world, and I'm always in the back of the house with the kitchen staff. I've learned techniques from some of the best chefs in the world, so I'm always cooking. And I was so excited to try Chicago pizza because I've had authentic Italian pizza, which I really, really like. And obviously, everyone's going to say Chicago's better or New York. New York to me is just a big slice for a couple bucks. And then so I go to
That's fair.
So I go to Chicago and I'm so excited. My friend Jason, he orders all this food, like $100 worth. And by when it came out, and I remember I was just like, this is soup. This is like very thick soup on bread. And I'm like, And I was hungover too. I was really hungover because I think we did a con out there. And I was like, nah, I'm not down with this deep dish stuff. You know, it's not for me.
you hurt me in my soul.
Poor David.
Right now.
Oh, I'm with you, man. I thought it was a soup sandwich. It was
Both of you guys.
I can't do it, man.
I first tried deep dish. I think it was last year during Celebration in Chicago, and I tried it and I was like, it's all I want. It's just bread, meat, and cheese,
right.
in absurd levels. And I love it. And so
remember when you was a little kid and like you were kind of scared of quicksand?
Sure. You thought it was all over the world? You're like, every movie has quicksand?
Every movie in like the 80s had quicksand.
Yeah.
Like,
Dangerous stuff.
I think Chicago deep dish pizza is actually edible quicksand. Right?
Oh, that's rad.
Shout out to the homies in Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah, big up Chicago. I love Chicago, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Awesome city.
One of my
city.
favorite cities. One of my favorite cities.
We had to sneak into the big building that's by the park where it's from like Adventures in Babysitting. I was like, oh my god, I gotta go to the Adventures in Babysitting building. So I had to sneak in at like 1 a.m. It was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, Chicago's a good time. I had so much fun at Celebration. I don't know if David, was you there when I threw my hotel party?
I was probably in my hotel room sleeping.
Did you hear about the hotel party?
I heard a tale of it.
Okay, well, all of that is wrong. All of that is right, and then some. So, quick recap. So, I drove from Nashville to Chicago. So, I took my huge Hip Hop Trooper backdrop, speakers, DJ controller. I took everything. You know, I took enough equipment to DJ at Coachella, right? Just because I wanted to do a random pop-up party. So we get to the Hilton, I believe it was, and the first night I just kind of did a little setup, like very chilled. Second night, by the third night, I brought the whole setup down in the lobby. I set up in the lobby, right, and it was crazy, right? People started showing up, and then drinking and partying, and the hotel, because I looked so professional and had so much shit, they figured someone green lighted this. Like this was supposed to happen. Anyway, to cut a long story short, it went on till 5 a.m, and the next day security was looking for me.
Oh man.
And I heard people got fired because of that party.
No.
Because it got out of hand. But guess what? Everyone had a good time.
Yeah, it's all that matters, right?
Everyone had a good time.
Isn't that funny how if you just go and walk like with the attitude that you know where you're going, no one will stop you. It doesn't matter if you're like at a hospital. You just gotta walk with purpose, and no one will stop you. They're like, oh, that guy clearly knows what he's doing. So
never ever. Yeah, never ever ask for permission.
No.
If they catch you, beg for forgiveness.
Right. That's the way to do it, man.
Or just blame it on Finn.
Yep.
Blame it on Finn.
He's the worst. Oh man.
Poor Finn.
That's too bad. Yeah, I know. That breaks my heart. Breaks my heart to hear. Oh man, but there were some pretty good takeaways, I think, from the most recent film. The only thing is, like, I think at the end of the movie, when all those Sith acolytes were in the background, a lot of us at work were talking about, like, what if it was like Return of the King, where all these Force Ghost Jedi came and we got to see them fighting those acolytes and everything like that. I think that would have had a pretty big impact on people. And same with Luke Skywalker. If he didn't die in the Last Jedi, and it would have ended with him pulling the X-wing out of the water and parking it, like, okay, now it's time for me to save the world, then I think that would have had a bigger impact on people too.
Yeah, and you know what? My thing is this. I'll be honest with you. I haven't even finished the new one.
Oh my gosh! Your buddy Finn, he's gonna turn your life around. You're gonna love him.
All I remember is they was at some like space Coachella, and Lando came out of a tent. I don't know if he was in there buying incense sticks or what. I don't know what he was doing, but he came out.
Sure.
And I didn't know what was going on, and I haven't watched any part of that. And I was watching the bootleg. And it was like a cam job, and someone kept standing up in the movie theater, and it was annoying me. So I haven't watched the whole movie.
Oh man.
Oh man,
that's breaking my heart.
Hey, but guess what? The Mandalorian is the best shit since the last best shit.
Yeah, loving it.
No, I love Mandalorian.
So I'm all over that.
You excited for season 2 then, I imagine?
Oh, of course. I can finally renew my subscription to Disney Plus.
Yeah, I found myself flipping through everything. I was watching Gummy Bears the other day. I was like, my god, is this what it's come to?
But I've seen them all, and I'll be honest with you. Like a lot of the old cartoons, I didn't watch them as a kid growing up. I lived in a house where my stepdad at the time, he made me watch Billy D. Williams movies and Superfly, and these are the movies that was in my house growing up. So I knew about Billy D. long before. When I first saw Lando Calrissian come on the scene, I was like, "Yo, it's Billy D." You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's who I knew who he was. Yeah, man, just back in the day, man. Back in the day.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, what do you where can people find you right now?
Honestly, man, I'm easy to find, unless I owe you money. So all you gotta do, man, is just Google Hip Hop Trooper, and you'll find my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, my Twitter. I have TikTok only because I have to get these things because people like to use my name for stuff that I might not approve of. So I like to grab everything. But mainly my YouTube, I just relaunched the Boombox series, my Boombox, where every week I tell stories and show one of my many boomboxes. I just launched that, did episode 2 today, actually, launched that. Other than that, man, Instagram. And one thing with me is I handle all my social media. I don't have anyone to answer to except for my wife. So, any question that comes my way, and I pretty much respond to everyone. I answer, and it's me. You know, you're not going to get a robot or someone say something.
Right.
Everything is me.
Have your people call my people?
There you go. There you go.
No,
all
that's-
me, baby.
That's great. No, that's encouraging because then people love it when you respond and they know that it's you. That's fantastic.
Yeah, man. And I'll be honest with you. Like I said, this is 10 years of the Hip Hop Trooper. I'm doing something that's fun. It's never been a cash grab or an idea to make money from me. Now, I've experienced some amazing things as Hip Hop Trooper. I've got to do a lot of amazing things. But one thing that I pride myself on, for everyone that opens the door for me, I leave it open for somebody else.
No, that's great.
You know,
Forward.
because it's not about who has the tree. It's about who hands out the seeds. We can all have trees.
Sure. No, that's great, man.
You want some seeds?
I am running low on seeds. I'll take the seeds.
I got you, bro. Seeds on the way.
Finn needs some seeds.
Yeah.
Oh, Finn needs a whole, Finn needs a field full of seeds and sprinklers, because them seeds need to grow fast.
Oh, that's great. On your website, there's a section that says mixtapes.
Yes.
You want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, so actually, speaking of which, I got to do a new one. I keep doing these live DJ feeds, but I'm not recording them. So I think there's 3 of them on there. They're basically just, when I go to shows and conventions, people are often asking about my music. I mostly play old school hip hop, electro, but then I mix it in with some new stuff because you want to pull the kids in so they can realize, like, whoa, this came from this, and this is actually really cool. And the mixtapes is just that. They're just downloadable music that you can play on your portable device, play on your boom boxes. I call it music for your boom box because that's what it's for, really.
Perfect.
It's a mixture of old school 80s, hip hop, funk, electro, the stuff you can play on your boom boxes. Now you need to have a good boom box.
Right.
Don't come with that weak boom box trying to play my shit.
And you need 18 D batteries to make it go.
You need D batteries, and you might need to climb up to an electric pole and just rig it up that way.
There you
But
go.
you need some power.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Alrighty. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you about Star Wars and your music and your amazing uniform. Love it to death. Keep up the amazing work. Keep putting smiles on faces, and we can't wait to see you at the next show in 2021.
Yeah, well, thank you, bro. And I'm glad you like my armor. I'm not wearing underpants, by the way, but you can't see that.
Yeah, neither are we. That's one thing the quarantine has taught us is that we can be pants free. You gotta wash your hands, but you don't gotta wear pants.
Pants free. Pants
Yep.
free.
Easy peasy.
Speaking of which, I need to close the blinds. But yeah.
No, that's rad. Well, thank you very much, and thank you everyone for joining us for our live stream. Remember to check out bluefinbrands.com for these amazing deals that we have going on model kits and Mayshow figures. I've got some pins to give away. We're doing a lot of giveaways on our social media, like follow at Bluefin Brands on Twitter and Tamachi Nations. Tons and tons of giveaways. We hope they end up coming to your house.
And
Happy
real
to ship them.
quickly,
Yes, sir.
I am a huge fan of the figures, by the way. Because I'm a mashup. You know what I mean? I'm a mashup
Sure.
of hip hop and Star Wars. And those figures, they carry the same elements. The samurai, the Star Wars. It's just, I think they're super dope. The detail is fantastic. And I had one in my hands a couple of years ago, but I actually gave it away to charity because I do my charity walk, and I had it as one of the prizes. I think you guys actually sent it to me.
Yeah, that was
nice.
me.
Yeah, it was you.
Yeah,
Yes, there you go. Yeah, when everything just comes together. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, you guys sent it to me, so that actually helped. That figure alone, combined with all the other gifts, we raised over $3,500 for the Children's Hospital. So I want to thank you, David, yet again for sending that to me.
Oh, anytime.
Now, when you do these giveaways, for me personally, going to the post office sucks because I forget. Wait a minute, I got to give all these gifts away. I got to ship them out to people.
Right.
They're not responding to their emails. What's your email? You won. But yeah, thanks again, man. Thanks again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, cool. Well, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for celebrating Star Wars with us all week long.
Right on, man. Right
Have a
on.
good day, guys.
See
Peace
ya.
out. Thank you.